Hey, sixes, let's talk a little bit about your environment and how you grew up learning your particular style. So if you look at the Enneagram, you'll notice these lines through it. These arrows is what they're called. For a 6, they point to a 9 and a 3. Under relaxed conditions, a 6 goes to a 9. Makes sense, especially when you're doing well. You grow peaceful, optimistic, you're able to slow down and empathize with people. It's nice. But under stressful conditions, you get busy because you're trying to avoid fear. Furthermore, you might seek to impress. So you can see how you pick up the flavors of these other styles. Now, if you keep learning in the Enneagram, it actually shows more. It shows how you can pick up the low side of a 9, the shadow side of a 9, even under relaxed conditions. For example, you might shut down and numb to disengage when you're not doing so well on the inside, even though it's relaxed conditions. On the other hand, under stressful conditions, it's possible to grow as you grow more courageous. You also pick up what is nice about the 3. You grow more decisive and self-respecting. And so what this shows here is, first of all, how to recognize these things in yourself, but also, second of all, that really a lot depends on what's going on the inside, not what's on the outside. Now, I'm going to say that again. The problem is not out there all the time. You don't need to be only suspicious about what's out there all the time. You need to think about it's the worldview in here and how you handle these circumstances that has just as much, if not more, to play in your life than the actual circumstances themselves. So for example, let's talk about your childhood. You know, most 6s grew up with kind of hard childhoods, honestly. Now, one, your sibling may not agree with you if you had any, but often you'll find that it wasn't stable enough. You know, it could have been your parent was not stable. It could have been that they were unpredictable in how they parented or handled you, or it just could have been that you were passed around from one person to the other. You know, there's all kinds of things, but whatever happened, that instability, you had 2 different reactions to it. One is that phobic response. You grow more compliant, clingy, dependent, and then you grow up in life that way, and you're looking for that. You're looking for the shelter of an authority figure, somebody who will make you safe, and you put them in those positions. Your mentors are huge. On the other hand, it could be that you grew more rebellious or independent or ambivalent, and you are this counterphobic. You are constantly pushing and pushing and pushing to test to see if this is a secure relationship or not. Usually, actually, sometimes you create waves and then are surprised and says, see there, I can't trust. I'm not safe. Well, you see what's going on here is there's somehow this childhood belief system. If you had to put it in words, it would be something like, I must be safe. I mean, think about that in the mind of a 6-year-old. I must, as if it's all up to them. I must be safe. And I must find someone to make me safe. I must find an environment that's safe, and it's out there somewhere. I just can't find it. That's a lot of work. So the question that comes to mind is, how do you handle your inner committee? How do you handle your inner committee? You know, ones have an inner critic. They'll stand up for what's right even if nobody else does. A 6 wants to, but they're like, don't you think we should stand up? Are we going to do this? And you have to deal with this inner committee and multiple voices and kind of insecure voices in your head. Now, by the way, as a side note, if you're in nonprofit work and you find out that a community of vultures, a group of vultures is actually called a committee, that's worth this course. That one insight was worth whatever you just put in on this course, right? Well, you got to think about that. There is this inner committee. There are these vultures, sometimes not just on the outside, but on the inside, that are vying for you. And you've got to figure out what's best to get safe. You know, a lot of times you look at these and you see they're swarming because I'm dying, you know. It could be that dying is the very best thing for you. And it could be that when you actually die and you trust fully the only one that can make you secure, and you die to yourself, that only then are the vultures starting to go away? So we're going to talk about that in a minute. It's called the Gospel Enneagram. You know where I'm going, right?